Alright, welcome Swing Dynasty. I wish I could fade that out a little bit better than that, but that's what I gotta go with right now. So, welcome, Swing Dynasty, to the commission recap.
Swing!
Tentpole! She's a babe.
She's magically babelicious.
She tested very high on the strokeability scale.
Alright, so the Swing Dynasty here. Your commissioner, the fantasy eraser, racing you guys' fantasies since 2019. Some of you at least. So we are here with the week 8 commissioner pick, not recap. I think I said recap earlier. Week 8 commissioner picks, beyond the halfway point of our season now. I gotta stop touching my head. That's something I'm gonna work on these. I gotta stop touching my head when I'm doing this. It's a nervous tick. So maybe talking about it, putting it out there will help dispel some of that nervous tick when I get in front of you guys here on the little Swing Dynasty commissioner videos. Okay, week 8 commish picks, not recap, and then followed by the picks. I'm gonna do a little halfway season summary here, talk about some midpoint MVPs, who is doing well, who in terms of players and managers here. But let's jump right into our picks for this week to start off. At least I am 23-12, coming off a 2-3 week for my commish picks. You know, I pick most of the favorites, and I end up about 66%, so about 2/3 correct. So the projections do somewhat matter. Mark and I were talking about that, whether the projections matter that much, and usually they're not exactly on or too close sometimes, but the favorites win more often than not, I believe. So it seems like that for my picks at least. All right, first game I'm going to jump into is Lucas versus Adam. Granger Jizz versus Jeff's dad here. Jeff's dad being Lucas, and Granger Jizz being Adam. Lucas is 4-3 right now. Adam is sitting at 1-6, coming off the big win last week against Mark. The keys to this game is that Lucas has to hit his projection. You know, Adam's team had their best week by far last week, but Mark also did not hit his projection. If there's no big letdown by Lev Bell and Leonard Fournette here, or, not letdown necessarily, Bell's got to bounce back from a tough week against the Patriots. Everyone's had a tough week against the Patriots, as I'll get into in the summary later. But if Leonard Fournette and Lev Bell hit their projections, Lucas is going to win this game, and I project Lucas to win this game. I predict he will maintain his status as the favorite throughout the game, throughout the contest, and come away with the victory. Next game I'm going to look at, so that would move Lucas to 5-3 and Adam to 1-7. Next game I'm going to look at is me versus Sean. So right now I am 4-3. Sean is 4-3. The spread on this is pretty healthy for me, 176 to 146. That is, looking down the line here, the biggest spread of the week so far. Yes, it is the biggest spread of the week so far. So I am favored pretty healthily here. But really the key to this game is the flex. The rosters are somewhat equal down to the flex positions, at least in projections. Who knows about when they actually hit the field right now. But my flex is DJ Chark and Marlon Mack. DJ Chark and Marlon Mack against old Lats Murray. He seems like he's old. The dude's 28. That's embarrassing for so many of us that I would consider old Latavius Murray. Seems like he's been around, maybe just because he's never been the dude. It just seems like he's been around for longer. I don't know why that is, but he is 28. He's nearing the end of a running back typical lifespan. But he had a big week last week against Chicago, of all teams. So Sean's rolling out Lats Murray and Duke Johnson. A big question, obviously, is if Kamara's back. I don't know if Kamara will be back in this game, but I do know that I am excited about that possibility of... Oh, I think I got... Oh, no, there we go. I'm excited by the possibility of my flex doing well in this and beating Sean. Okay, so all I have to say to Sean is...
Low
Get your ass to the chopper, young man, because my team's coming for you. My boys are back. The Predators are back in their positions, ready to run all over the field. I'm loving having Saquon and Josh Jacobs back. Hoping Marlon Mack has a better week than last week. I love that three-headed monster I have at running back right now, and I do predict myself to beat Sean in this game. First time I've predicted for myself, I think, in 4 weeks, and it feels good. I predicted Steve to beat me last week, and he did not. So that's that projection. That would move me to 5-3 and Sean to 4-4. Okay. Oh, also another reason why is because of Pitt's D versus Miami. I looked up this week and said, who's playing Miami? I want that defense, and I bid $3 on it. Three big ones. I think that was like 1/7 of my remaining budget, so for me it was a big expenditure. But apparently I beat JD by $1. So, I think the team playing against Miami, whoever's defense is playing against Miami, is worth $3, JD. They should be worth $3. I don't care if it's Arizona's defense. They're playing Miami. That's a $3 deal right there. That's better than it's better than a $1 cheeseburger at Wendy's because it won't give you diarrhea. Hopefully, the defense will. The Wendy's definitely will. All right, next game I'm looking at Phil versus Big D, Daryl. Phil is 2-5. Daryl's 4-3, and part of that big cluster of 4-3s. Projections 145 to 156. And the key to this game, a lot of the key to this game has to do with this man right here. Play that funky song. What is happening? Oh. Tap to unmute. That might help. Having some technical difficulties here. Still trying to get this stupid thing figured out. Now I'm on my iPad, because our laptop would not connect to the Bluetooth here. And if this doesn't happen quick, I'm going to have to... There we go. All right. This guy's the key to this game. Can Super Mario come back? Is he playing for Phil? That guy is Phil's team. He really is. In so many ways, he's Phil's team here. So I touched the hair. Okay, God, I can't touch the hair. It's just got to stay where it is. Super Mario versus Matt Breida is a big part of this game. Daryl's rolling out Matt Breida. Phil, if he can roll out Kamara, that's huge. Also, Julio Jones versus Tyreek Hill. This is the first action for Hill since Mahomes went out for Daryl. But Matt Moore likes to, maybe we just call him Matt Ball. Matt Moore likes to chuck the rock around him. He likes to throw deep. He's going to throw and hope that Tyreek gets underneath it, and Tyreek's really good at doing that. So I think that there's a good chance that does happen. This is the second flex matchup this year between A.J. Brown and J. Brown. So we got A.J. Brown and we got J. Brown. They are A. Brown and J. Brown on the rosters, A and J. Brown, and together they are A.J. Brown, and one of their names is actually A.J. Brown. And that is entertaining to me, and it's one of the big signs that I'm a total dork, but I do like that. So right now the spread 145 to 156. I'm picking Daryl. I think that Tyreek will have a big enough game. I think Julio has struggled enough. I don't even remember who they're playing right now. Hotlanta is playing possibly. Oh, they're playing. Maybe it's not Seattle. I don't remember who it is, but I know that Matt Ryan might not play in that game, and I don't like whoever is coming in for Matt Ryan throwing to Julio. So I am picking Tyreek, the Freak, Matt Burrito for Daryl, and he is going to win this game and go to 5-3, and Phil will drop to 2-6. All right. Next game is JD and JD and Steve, of course, that guy. Yeah, Steve. Steve is JD's 3-4. Steve is 6-1. It's 165 projection for JD as the favorite currently to 155 for Steve, but Steve has not put a kicker in. Although with the New England defense, he might not need it. The key to this game is the New England defense versus Cleveland. I know JD is starting Jarvis Landry. If they can score points with him, that would be wonderful for JD. There's something missing from my... I don't know. There's something missing from my lineup of songs here. I think there was something I was going to play here, and I don't remember what it is, but it probably had to do with me beating Steve. So I'm a little disappointed that I seem to have lost that. I touched my head again. God bless it. All right. Anyways, so New England's defense is always the key for Steve, and I think he's going to win because of it, even though he is projected to lose. I can't pick against Steve and look at myself in the mirror tomorrow and probably see a winner, because that's just not what's happening when I pick against Steve right now. So, sorry, JD, going with Steve on this one. You are favored to win, inshallah. Maybe that will play out, but as of now, we are looking at Steve with another victory because those dumbass New England Patriots. Or are they the New England, I was trying to think about this, like the Boston Steves, or his name is Steve Paler. I was like, the New England Palers, the New England Patriots. I didn't like any of it. And it's a work in progress. I've got to think of something else because they're clearly Steve's favorite team now. And I'm going to keep saying that because I know that it bothers him, and that's funny. It probably doesn't actually bother him at all, but I think it's funny. All right, game of the week, projected to be the highest scoring game of the week, is Bert versus Mark. I think they've both been in games of the week before. They are 4-3 for Bert, 3-4 for Mark, 176 for Bert to 171 for Mark. That's the current projection. This is bipolar Bert versus the Virgin Marky. So bipolar Bert, his team has been up and down. They can put up a 200-point game, and then they can put up a 120-point game. While that can happen to all of us, it seems to be a weekly thing for bipolar Bert. And the Virgin Marky, there's no good reason for that name. It's a dumb name. Keys, Cooper Kupp versus Brandon Cooks. LA Rams wide receivers against each other in this matchup. If Brandon Cooks can beat Cooper Kupp, which is a 17-12 projection in favor of Kupp right now, Mark will win this game. But I think Cooper Kupp will win that. This is also a Kittles and Bits, George Kittle versus Ertz McGurts, Zach Ertz. Zach has the hotter wife. I don't really know if... I don't think George Kittle's married, so by default, Zach Ertz has a hotter wife. But, she's pretty cute, too. She's a soccer player, if you're into that type of thing. Bert's flex is much better looking than... Like, not physically. Not like that. Then... Bert has a nice flex. Mark knows this for sure. Mark and I have seen it in places you shouldn't see it. And so Bert's flex is it appears to be better than Mark's flex. But can Philip Lindsay be trusted? That's a big question. I do think Bert's going to end up winning this game. That would move Bert to 5-3 and drop Mark to 3-5. So brutal there for Mark. That's our game of the week. That's our pick. So I'll move on now to the mid-year review, and we're going to start with the manager. To this point, the manager of the year.
Cool. Yeah, we'll stay and hang around with us. With Alice Cooper. We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not!
All right, so we are not worthy at this point of the manager of the year at the halfway point here. This is the projected manager of the year, the Boston Steves. He's got 1,335 total points. He's number one in total points. He's first in wins at 6-1. He is just crushing people right now. He has been, except for me. I think I'm the only one of you guys that beat him so far. So why don't you, the rest of you, step your game up a little bit. But he is out to a healthy lead by 2 games. I think he's ahead by 2 games. 2 wins, I should say. He's up by 2 wins. I think that ends up being like 4 games or something like that in weird sports stats. So he is the manager of the year to this point. And then our underperformer of the year is going to my good friend Mark. He is the current underperforming manager of the year. He can't stop anybody at this point because he has the second most points at 1,244. But he is in 7th place at this point at 3-4. So this is the guy with the second most points in the league, but he is 3-4 thanks to giving up 1,258 points, the most given up in our league. The second person is 1,206 with Lucas. So Mark, you got to figure out how to start shutting some opposing teams down, man. Because right now, All right, that's not the first time Mark's heard that. Okay. I'm going to run down the top performers in our league by players so far, and I'm going to start with the best quarterbacks. Top 5 quarterbacks so far. Lamar Jackson, nice surprise for JD there, I know. Maybe not surprised, he's not surprised, but nice. You know, when you with draft capital, what was spent on him, that's pretty great. Russell Wilson, number 2, playing. I mean, probably looks like the best quarterback in the league this year in real football. Even more so than fantasy, which I don't like to say, but it's true. Deshaun Watson is number 3, Dak Prescott, and Patrick Mahomes, who obviously maybe with that last game, if he played the whole time, I don't know the spreads on those points, but he rounds out the top 5, and he has missed part of a game. So, and he will be missing this week, I believe. Yeah, Matt Moore, I think, is starting this week. Okay, the top 5 running backs. Christian McCaffrey, absolute stud so far this year. Dalvin Cooks, Austin Eckler, Ezekiel Elliott, and Aaron Jones round out the top 5. Pretty crazy based on recent history to not see names like David Johnson, not see names like Todd Gurley and Lev Bell in that. But I don't think Lev Bell's a surprise for any of us this year. But just compared to where we've been in the last few years, to see Christian McCaffrey up at number 1 is pretty stellar there for Lucas. Wide receivers. Michael Thomas. How is this man number 1? Drew Brees is gone. He's only had 2 weeks where he was in the top 10, I believe, for fantasy, but he is the number 1 receiver because he just is good every single week. Chris Godwin, I've been so pleased that I drafted Chris Godwin. Heard a lot of good stuff about him, and he has been playing. Cooper Kupp, having a great season, except for the last couple weeks have been dicey, but I think he'll come back. Amari Cooper, and then, surprise, DJ Chark. I left him on my bench for too many games there, and he is hanging down the number 5 spot right now. Tight ends, exactly how you would have pictured it at the beginning of the year. The 1 through 5, exactly what you would have thought at the beginning of the year. That's right. Austin Hooper, Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, and Evan Ingram. What a incredible list there for the top 5 tight ends. It's pretty insane. I'm loving Darren Waller. He is my favorite player on my team right now. He just keeps going. Kicker, top 5 kickers. Who gives a shit? I'm not gonna do that. Defense, no surprise here. The Patriots. The 49ers, a big surprise there. I love that. That's my 49ers right there, my San Francisco 49ers. So the Patriots, the 49ers, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Rams. Now, I'd be remiss not to point out that the Patriots have scored 165 points at number 1. The number 5 team, the Los Angeles Rams, have scored 76. That is less than half of the points of the Patriots. That's amazing. And the top rookies, Kyler Murray, Gardner Minshew, Josh Jacobs, Daniel Jones, and Terry McLaurin. Pretty impressive for those rooks. And at this point, I would say the fantasy MVP has to be Christian McCaffrey. The guy just is insane. I know Lamar Jackson's the number 1 overall point scorer, but when you look at the quarterbacks around him, they are much closer. After Run CMC and Dalvin Cooks, there is really big drop-off for the running backs. Not huge, but I mean bigger than the quarterbacks. Those 2 guys are just far and away better, and Christian McCaffrey's at the top of that list, about 13 to 14 points ahead of Dalvin Cooks. So Christian McCaffrey is the early season MVP, and that is the end of our week 8 preview here, the commission picks, and the mid-year review. 6 more weeks of fantasy football, gentlemen, then the playoffs begin. Get your shit right, get it tight, and get ready, because this is coming. We have everyone except probably Adam and maybe Phil are still in contention for the playoffs. So, keep fighting, keep looking at waiver wire, trying to find anything out there because it's slim pickings. All right, fellas, have a good weekend. Don't forget to set your Thursday night lineups for anyone. Move those players into the starting positions. Get them out of your flex if they are in your Thursday night, just in case anything happens with your other players. All right, peace out.